Welcome to this Highfield Academy training video for Level 1 Functional Skills Maths. This video contains information and guidance on Criterion 30. Understand probability on a scale from 0 to 1 and use probabilities to compare the likelihood of events. At Level 1 and by the end of this session, you should be able to understand that probability is a way of describing how likely something is to happen. Know that probability is shown on a scale from 0, impossible, to 1, certain. Recognize and use words to describe probability, such as impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely, and certain. Write probabilities as fractions, decimals, or percentages. Compare the probabilities of 2 or more events and decide which is more likely to happen, and plot probabilities on a scale. What is probability? Probability is a way of describing how likely something is to happen. Probability measures the chance of something happening. It can be shown as a number, a fraction, a decimal, a percentage, or with words. Here's an example. The chance of picking a red sweet from a bag with 5 red sweets and 5 blue sweets is 1/2, 0.5 or 50%. Probability is shown on a scale from 0 to 1. 0 means the event will never happen. It is impossible. 1 means the event will definitely happen. It is certain. Numbers between 0 and 1 show different levels of likelihood. The closer to 0, the less likely it is to happen. The closer to 1, the more likely it is to happen. Here's an example. The probability of rolling an even number on a fair die is 3 out of 6, or 0.5. This is halfway along the scale, at the point marked even. Recognize and use words to describe probability. Here are some common words used to describe certain points on a probability scale. Impossible or 0. There is no chance of it happening. Unlikely, close to 0 but not 0. This is not expected but still possible. Even chance 0.5. This is equally likely to happen or not happen, for example, flipping a coin. Likely, close to 1 but not 1. This probably will happen, but it is not a certainty. Certain, or 1. This is guaranteed to happen. Probability can be written in 3 formats: fractions, decimals, and percentages. To represent a probability as a fraction, you take the desired number of outcomes and divide it by the total number of outcomes. For example, to roll a 3 on a fair 6-sided die. There is a 1 out of 6 chance of this happening. To represent a probability as a decimal, divide the numerator, or top number, by the denominator, or bottom number. For example, 1 divided by 6 equals 0.16 recurring, rounded to 0.17. To represent a probability as a percentage, multiply the decimal by 100. For example, 0.17 multiplied by 100 equals 17%. Here's a question for you to try. Pause the video while you have a go, then press play to check your answer. Let's check the answer. Pause the video while you do this. To compare the probability of 2 or more events, convert all probabilities into the same format, fractions, decimals, or percentages, before comparing. The larger the number, the more likely it is to happen. For example, the chance of rain tomorrow is 0.8 or 80%. The chance of snow tomorrow is 0.2 or 20%. Rain is more likely. Here's a question for you to try. Pause the video while you have a go, then press play to check your answer. Let's check the answer. Pause the video while you do this. All probabilities are between 0 and 1. A probability cannot be negative or greater than 1. If a number given is less than 0 or more than 1, it is not a valid probability. Let's try a practice question. Plot the following probabilities on the scale below. 20%, 50%. 7/10. For this question, you may want to recreate this scale on a piece of paper and mark the answers on this. Let's check the answers. Pause the video while you do this. Here are some tips to help you answer probability questions correctly. Read the question carefully to identify the event or events being discussed. Find the total possible outcomes. Work out the number of desired outcomes. Write the probability as a fraction. Convert to a decimal or percentage if needed. Plot the probability on a probability scale if the question asks for this. Compare the probabilities if there's more than one event. Check that your answer is between 0 and 1. Let's try a couple of exam questions. Pause the video while you work out the answer to this question, then press play when you're ready to continue. Here's the answer. Pause the video while you check it, then press play to move on to the next question. Here's the final exam question. Pause the video while you have a go, then press play to check your answer. Here's the answer. Pause the video while you check it, then press play to continue. Let's recap what you've learnt in this video. You should now be able to understand that probability is a way of describing how likely something is to happen. Know that probability is shown on a scale from 0, impossible, to 1, certain. Recognize and use words to describe probability, such as impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely and certain. Write probabilities as fractions, decimals, or percentages. Compare the probabilities of 2 or more events and decide which is more likely to happen, and plot probabilities on a scale. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.